It's no secret one of Games Workshop's most loved games is Space Hulk, the board game. But in today's video, we're taking a look at the card game Space Hulk Death Angel, which is basically the board game boiled down to a card game. A lot more easier to transport. There's a few differences. Don't get me wrong, it plays exactly the same. You're walking through a ship against unbeatable odds. You're trying to fight your way through and make it to an area. The Gene Stealers are going to get the better of you most of the time. It's a very difficult game. It's a very tight and close. And there's those moments where you're almost there, but you're absolutely swarmed. And can you make it? A few very important decisions as the game comes to a close, but it's not the board game. So we're gonna take a look at this one today, see if it's one for you. It's obviously a lot cheaper than the board game. I think I paid around 30, 35 pounds for this, where the board game is more like 200, 300, 400, depending on the edition. So there's a lot to love about it. It's got some good stuff going for it, but will the game interest you? Let's get to the table and take a look. Let's take a look at Death Angel then. Absolutely gorgeous art, as you would expect in some of these older Warhammer games. Just looks incredible. Exactly what we're going to get in the box. Showing us exactly what we're in for. Hordes of Gene Stealers trying to tear us apart as we make our way through the ship. Even the font on the logo there looks awesome. Not going to be needing this for this video. I am going to go through the rules briefly and show you how to set up and play out a turn, but I've already done that. So I will talk about some of the cards you find in here as I go. These are your Broodlords. So these are going to only cut them up in certain events, so you can put them to the side. These are going to be your different characters, so some of these are already mixed up from playing, so I'm just going to take them and make this slightly easier on myself. So we're going to take these ones. Depending on the amount of players is going to depend on which characters you use, or how many I should say. So in each game, you're going to have a void lock, so you just need to find the one that signifies yours. So in this one, we'll just do a one player since it is just me. You can do up to 6, which is incredible. I think more smaller games like this should have higher amounts. So we are going to put this down. Basically, the information here is there's going to be 6 blips either side. If you've played the board game, you know what the blips signify, and it's not good news. I will just find them out quickly to show you. So they're the event cards. These are where we're going to be going around, and these are your blips. As I say, for anyone that's played the game, you know these blips are going to be revealed to be Gene Stealers. As you go, more and more of these are going to be found. I'm going to give these a quick shuffle and we'll set up as we go. So we're going to put the void lock here. Try and keep it where you can see it, even though it's probably more important you see the characters. And then, like it said, 6 either side. So we're going to take 6 to one side and 6 to the other. Now, once we've got our characters, shuffle them in. They are double-sided. So as you go, the top 3 are going to be facing to your left. So you can just see they're facing here. Just make sure they're all facing that way. They are double-sided, so you can just flip them over so they are facing the correct way. And then we've got these ones here. I'm running out of room slightly, so I'm just going to shuffle these up a little bit. So you're going to have something that looks sort of like this once you're finished. This is going to be all of your characters. Like I say, the top 3 are facing left, bottom 3 are facing right. You're then going to look at your void lock. So just grab that over here quickly. Let's have a look what it says. So this says the door is 1 up from the top, so that's going to be right at the top. It says this one is going to be 3 down, so 1, 2, 3, and that's how you're going to place them. So nice and easy. Just match up the symbols. So we've got the door symbol here, 3 blocks, which is the dark corner. That's going to be 3 from the top, so that's going to be here. Just continue, and then we've got 3 from the bottom. We've got a vent, which is going to be here, and then finally we've got the corridor, which is 2. Finally, we've got the corridor, which is 2 from the bottom, which will be here. That's going to go back here because we're not going to need that anymore. It does also say take location deck setup 2, 3, 4. Now, so you do have a deck of setup locations over here. So what you're going to do from that is take a 2, a 3, and a 4. Hopefully I've already set this up. A 2, 3, and a 4. They're going to go under this in ascending order. So 4 is going to be at the bottom. Right, next you want to give these a shuffle. And you're going to draw one of these for setup. So this is going to give us an idea on how to set things up here. So this is probably the worst one we could have drawn. I've filmed this. This is the 3rd time I've filmed this. And every time it's had the white triangles. So the yellow means it's going to be, let's grab this again. It's going to be the major one here. So it's going to be 2 Gene Stealers instead of 1. Now we're going to go through here. So the orange location is going to spawn 2 Gene Stealers. And the green is also going to spawn 2, which is down here. So we're going to have 4 Gene Stealers in play. before anything happens. So we're going to take 2 from here onto there. And we're going to take 2 from here again onto the corridor. So that's how this game's going to play as you go. You're going to draw event cards each turn. They're going to reveal special things that you can do to either get the upper hand, but normally they're going to set you back. You're going to try and fight your way through these. Let's talk a little bit about the fighting then. So each character has a different range. That's how far they can attack. So they can always attack in front of them. This one has range 2, so it can also attack 2 up. So it could attack up to here. This one in the middle has range 2, so he can go 1, 2, or he could go 1, 2 and attack here. It's very important which way they're facing. So you'll notice these characters are facing that way. If a Gene Stealer had managed to flank one of them, they wouldn't be able to attack them. So the way the attacking works is you're going to roll a dice and you want to try and hit one of these symbols with a skull. If you roll a skull, you get to remove a Gene Stealer. It's just the one. You slowly have to wade through these things. It's very difficult to kill. However, in return, if they attack us, let's take this for example. So let's say these 2 attack our brother in the middle. Because there's 2 of them, we're going to need to roll higher than the amount of Gene Stealers. Now this is a 0 to 5 dice, so the 0 is a fail, the 1 is a fail, the 2 is a fail, the 3 would succeed, so it's a 50-50 chance when there's 2 of them, which is already pretty rough, but as more and more pile up, it's going to get more and more difficult. So you want to try and break it up, you want to try and find ways to deal with them without getting into too much trouble, as things can quickly build up. So each colour of Space Marine is going to have the same things. They can attack, they can support, and they can move and activate. However, each of their specials along with this are going to be very different. So some are very much combat heavy, they're going to have extra attacks. Some are more defensive, they're going to set up shields and it will say, put a shield here and these Gene Healers can't attack for this turn. So there's a lot of different tactics to go with these cards. There's a few other things to note in the corner. There's an initiative. So as you play them, they go in order. So you want to, if you're playing solo, you can sort of choose the order you want almost by picking numbers that fit the order that you want. However, if you're playing as a group, if you're playing as, let's say each person has control of one of these, you don't get to tell everyone else what you're playing. You have to put it down, then all reveal at the same time and they go in order. So there's not only the strategy of trying to deal with these creatures and get around the ship, there's also the strategy of trying to help your teammates but not really knowing what they're doing or what they've got planned. The other tricky thing is, if let's say I attack this turn and I take out a Gene Stealer, get to do the special, all of the good stuff. The next turn there's more Gene Stealers and I need to attack. I can't play the same card twice in a row. So now I've just got these 2 options. Let's say I decided to support. The following turn I would then have these 2 options and it would go around like that. So again, not only do you need to worry about Gene Stealers and moving around this ship and your teammates, you now need to worry about the order you play your cards and thinking a few turns ahead. There's a ton of stuff in this game to make it very tactical, very tense, and creates very close encounters and close moments, and you're just there and you think you can do it, then suddenly something goes wrong. There's a spanner in the works, you lose a character. Because what we were talking about before, if I don't defend against a Gene Stealer, there's 2 here, let's say I roll a 2, that is not higher than the amount of Gene Stealers. This guy's just removed. There's no life points, there's no saving them, there's nothing. This guy's gone, then it's all going to slide along. These don't leave, you still have to deal with them, and you can see how very quickly you can be overrun. So after all this, what is the purpose of the game? How do we get through it? The aim is to clear a side of blips. So let's say we manage to take these out and they keep spawning and eventually one side is cleared entirely. That would progress us to the next area. So I'm not going to spoil the next area, but basically you would reveal the next card. Each time they're going to have different blips, different setups, and you're going to go through the decks and set them up as it says. The ones after are also going to have specials. As I say, I won't go into them. It can be a surprise for you guys as well. They're going to have extra effects that make it extra difficult. Eventually you're going to get to the last level. On that level you need to clean out both sides of blips, so this pile and this pile instead of just the one. If you can do that with a Space Marine surviving, you will succeed. If all your Space Marines die though, which they are more than likely to, it's a fail and you reload the game and go again. This is the type of game I can see myself just going after and after every time, just trying to complete it, trying to get it done. Let's talk a little bit about your options then. So support is going to be some of these tokens. These are very powerful tokens. So you can use these via the support action. You can use them if you activate things like doors. It's going to let you put support tokens on the door. There's events that interact with them. Basically, these are going to let you reroll dice. Now, obviously, in a fight with a Gene Stealer, it's going to come down to luck. It could get the upper hand, it could flank you, it could slash at something, and it just gets the right hit and deals you a ton of damage, and you are dead. This dice is so important. Having the options to reroll that is massive. But also, if we look at stuff like the door, having support markers on here is going to make it easier to slay Gene Stealers. So there's a ton of stuff they can do. There's a ton of options. If you ever feel like, why would I want to waste a turn supporting? It's never a waste. You need to plan ahead. You need to have this played. As I say, they have also got specials that go with them. We're just talking about the generic action here. So this one is attack, very easy. We've already spoke about. You're going to roll, try and get a skull and take out a Gene Stealer. Or you can move and activate. Now this one's slightly more complicated, but still not a lot to it. You're going to move your character, so you basically get a switch. So we could go here and here, for example. Could go here and here. Then you have the option to activate something. So if we're at the door, we could activate that. On other levels, there'll be more stuff to activate. You can also, when you move, change facing, which is important. So like we mentioned before, let's say the brother here is being flanked currently. He wouldn't be able to attack these Gene Stealers because they're behind him. They're in these big Terminator suits, and they're not the most mobile, so he wouldn't be able to attack or deal with this. So if he took the move and activate option, he would at least flip round, have a chance to defend, and then have the option to attack next turn. Like I said, it's very much planning for the upcoming turns. These aren't quick characters. Like I said, they are Terminators. They are slowly stomping around in these big suits, but these Gene Stealers are quick, and you can be quickly overwhelmed. But that is Space Hulk Death Angel, the card game. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. I absolutely adore it. It's a perfect entry into that type of thing. I don't play Warhammer. I love the characters though, I love the creatures, I love the setting. So this is perfect for me. I know earlier I mentioned it's an alternative to the board game, but I'm gonna have to get the board game as well now. Really enjoyed this, so having the chance to do that with miniatures and walking around the board is gonna be the next video I do on this type of thing. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, because I do wanna try and build my own Space Hulk board and make it slightly easier to get into a game which has so much fan base behind it, but still hasn't seen a re-release in any reasonable time. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it inspires you to go out and grab it. If you have, let me know in the comments below. Let me know any games similar to this, or maybe if you prefer this or the board game. Let me know in the comments below. That's all I've got for this episode though, so I will catch you in the next one.